Yo, welcome back, everyone. My name is Justin Copit. This is the Concrete Two Cities or Two Cities YouTube page. We're specifically helping residential concrete business owners in this specific video. So, pretty much what I want to share and explain with you guys is we have currently started our own concrete company here at Two Cities. And 2 weeks ago is when we pretty much began it with our exact process. So, what we will get into here is simple. Like, what did we learn? So, the number one thing is this works. Well, what we do is currently active working with a concrete company who pours driveways, who pours patios, even with the beginners. So, since we just began, you know, what else we learned is like one job can lead to many referrals. You don't need a large budget, but it's going to help you, especially when it comes to getting more online marketing, online referrals, online leads, online appointments, online poured project. And again, nothing really changes. This isn't rocket science. It's not some crazy thing. We have broken it down to very easy, very specific, very self explanatory things that work. So let's dive more into it. So, how did it work? So, like I've already mentioned, the same exact way that we serve our Concrete Two Cities clients, what we were doing is generating leads, booking out appointments, giving estimates, following up to close. Very simple, very straightforward, very easy. Nothing, again, crazy, very simple stuff. Yet, what concrete companies need more of is leads. The more leads you get, the more you can qualify them, the more you can generate more appointments, the more estimates you can get out there, the more estimates pending, the easier it is to follow up and close. Now, with that, we'll have some more sauce to share with you guys here in a little bit. So, some of the stats, some of the statistics, again, this is on a very, very, very small budget. $250 in advertising spend, whether it be on Google, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X. These are all platforms that you can advertise on, which has led to 11 leads. Not many leads. Not many leads at all. Yet again, this can start for the small people. This can start for the big people. Some of the bigger budgets that we would recommend is, 2,500. Some will spend up to 10,000 a month on it. And then from there, what we really want to know is our cost to acquire a customer. So with that, it led to 4 in-person estimates, one estimate at 8,500 that is right now pending, that we just sent out yesterday actually. And into the future, you know into the future, we'll be writing up more estimates, more appointments. We'll be able to share kind of how this goes. And I mean, again, today we're going to be writing up 3 more appointments. We have one in-person appointment that's scheduled for today at the time of this recording. So what are the next steps from there? Once we give more estimates, it's to follow up. Text call, low friction, every 3 to 4 days, business days, super low friction, super casual. The biggest thing is just to stay consistent. We'll also implement email sequences, fall, spring, summer, wintertime deals, depending on where you're at, whether you jump in, don't jump in, haven't known about or known about Concrete Two Cities. I ask you to focus now. Focus. Now, with these, we'll also use automations to send out these deals. So summer, spring, fall type of deals for, the Midwest, the upper part of the states, the northern side of the states, the southern side of the states, the east, the west coast, on the south side, that pour all year round. We can use all of these. And we would recommend using all of these. And then setting an expiration date on the project. So again, these prices are good for 30 days, which you may already use, you may not already use. Something just to add in there to keep you updated. So a good way to then, when you get appointments or leads, you can offer a referral structure. So say we will give you $500 off your project if you refer us to a family member or a friend or a friend or a family member. and then you can use this with your company name. So, for example, say they as in one homeowner gives you 5 referrals, or through each referral you get five referrals total. You're offering $2,500 off. Say your average size is 5 to 10K minimum. Again, they can get up to the $50,000 mark, as you and I both know, especially if you're a concrete business owner. Even if we took, you know, the project that we quoted at 8,500, say it's an $8,000 project with the referral structure, and you're still at anywhere from 30 to 50% margins. You get the idea, right? So if we break numbers down, say you did five $5,000 jobs, which leads to $25,000 total in work. Now from there, if you're at 50% margins, the numbers are very easy for you to break down. So 5 at 5K each is 25,000. For those of you who don't know how to use a calculator, Apple, if you have an Apple phone, is very easy to use, to where you can type in your own numbers here. So figure out your average size job. So if it's 8,000 and say you got 5 referrals, there's 40,000. Now, if you are at 30% margins, you would click the multiply button there. You would do 0.3 for margins. And then from there, you would be at $12,000. Again, this is probably backwards, yet it's very, very, very easy to use. So another example, you do 5 jobs at 5,000 equals 25,000. You're at a 50% margins times 0.5, 25,000 times 0.5, which gives you 12.5. Would you trade $2,500 of your profit, and say you could work this into your estimate that you give to the referrals to cover that $500, yet at the same time, would you still give up $2,500 for an additional $10,000 in profits? Up to you. Now, some will, some won't. Some are only in terms of perfection. Again, if these are just small, basic price points. Again, some of you guys are after the high ticket, which obviously these margins increase. The biggest thing is if you haven't seen it, go watch our video on how to understand the cost to acquire a customer. Now, the biggest problem with concrete business owners that we've seen personally with the ones that we have worked with is they don't know how to do these specific things. They're not tracking the data. They're not tracking the return on ad spend. So, for example, if we spent $250 and it nets us $4,000 in profit, if we're at 8,000 total, 50% margins, we can understand that how you break this down is out of, say, $4,000, 250 divided by 4,000. I think I did that wrong. So 4,000 divided by 250 is 16% return on our ad spend, which I think that's probably a lot higher actually. So what else they're not tracking is they don't show up on time. We've seen people not know how to listen. They don't know how to communicate. They don't have the systems and processes in place, and they aren't speed to lead, meaning it takes them 7 hours to call a customer, which I get, because if you're pouring concrete, you can have those type of issues. Now, with that, to understand this better, so every $1 you put in to understand your ROAS, which is right here, if it's at 16, if we do 4,000 of our profit divided by what we spend, $250, gives us 16. So every single dollar that we put in, it would get us $16 in return. So I hope you're understanding that. So every $1 we put in, we can get 16 in return with this specific return on our ad spend. So what you want to also understand is once you get into the higher margins, where you're spending hundreds of thousands a month or a year on your advertising, you want to know kind of what that's getting for you. And again, we can help you set all of these things up in our higher level programs, or 6, 8, or 12 month. It's for those who are all in, those who jump in, those who take action. We have many clients from last year and years previous that are also in this specific program where we can make things more trackable, more reliable, and things that can really help you. So, one thing I want to give you is this free script, which is down below in the description. Ask these very specific questions to set up your next appointment. So if you get a lead, ask them these specific questions to book them in on your calendar when it's going to work between you and the homeowner. Very low friction, very easy to use, yet again, we've seen people that are just giving estimates through their phone, meaning that they are not actually, you know, going out there, meeting them in person. They're just giving them a price point of, say, $10,000 for their back patio when they have never met anyone from this specific company, yet they think that these people are going to move forward with them. That is a red flag. Many people will not do that. You should have people going out there, especially if you do not have a lot of leads coming in. You should go out to every single one of them, and by asking these specific questions, it can help you in the actual appointment process and in to from new lead to booking them for an actual appointment on the phone. So you call them, ask them these specific questions, and then you can also re-ask these specific questions in the in-person interview. Okay. Now, the biggest thing is you're going to understand that people buy the same exact way you buy. So how do you join Concrete Two Cities, you may be wondering? I mean, you have to meet our expectations and qualifying process, which means like you're ready to track those numbers with us. You're ready to understand that if we can really dial this in and really actually track these numbers, you can make it very, very, very predictable for you moving forward in the future. Yet many people are so damn lazy and so silly that it's reasons why we have such a select qualifying process, yet our price points are very, very, very affordable, especially if you can go out there and pour one job. It can cover almost all of our programs depending on the job size that shows up, and we're really going to want you to meet a certain revenue goal before coming to us, just because there's not much that we can do for, just because they're always like those clients who want it done cheaper, and when in reality they're not going to put in any of the work anyways. They're not going to follow up, they're not going to go to the appointments, they're not going to show up on time. Heck, we had a guy who scheduled some appointments with some leads, some homeowners, and they said they were going to be there at 9, yet they didn't show up till 10:30, and the homeowner was already gone. Now, if they would have just communicated better, they would have gotten a better outcome. And again, they're not action takers. They think about it all day long. They're those guys who think that they're going to get their project done next spring, yet next spring comes and then it's going to be in the fall. And then from the fall, it's that next winter, and they never actually do anything about it. You probably have experienced those types of homeowners. So, with that, we see that in certain types of business owners, mainly those who are unsuccessful. And if you find yourself kicking the can down the road, you have to really ask yourself why. Our team is just to help you understand the logic in the way that you think about things, because if you were to where you are supposed to be, you would already be there. And many of you are not there, so why are you not there? So show up to one of these qualifying calls and see if we can specifically help you diagnose the problem. And if you're not serious, do not book. And from there, if you do not qualify, we will simply tell you. Now, whether you jump in or don't jump in, now I ask that you just go ahead, scan this code. Here's some of our programs, here's our website, here's our case study, here are some of the videos that we have that can help you diagnose some of those things that are going on. All right, my friends, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.